Invading the internet, covering Web 2.0, coast to coast, worldwide, and everywhere in between. This is where you put the social in social media. We are Social Blade.
Yes, we are, and I still haven't gotten used to that new intro, Aaron. The voice just sounds so different, but...
We'll fix it. We'll fix it. I know,
Well,
I sound like I was depressed that day.
I don't look sickly.
That's true.
Like half my head's missing.
But anyway, I'm Jason Ergo here, and we have a lovely cast of characters, minus one. JD Rucker is missing this week, taking the day off for his daughter or something to do family matters. I don't know.
A recital.
Actually,
excuses.
Actually, I eviscerated JD, and this is what my hat is. This is JD.
You're wearing JD Rucker.
I'm wearing JD.
Nice. I am Aaron Ryan.
And I'm Jeff Kreider.
And today we're also we're with Don Vantel. He has joined us. And Don Vantel is, I don't know, what the best way to describe you? You're a big YouTube star that helps people improve their image on YouTube and helps them clean up their channels and whatnot. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So thanks so much for joining us here, Don. And
you're welcome.
We'll talk to you definitely more in a little bit, but again, feel free to join in with anything you have on any of the topics we got here today.
Oh, okay.
And since
Jeff, what do we have? We have a...
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, we have a jam-packed week. Or it was a jam-packed week of social media. I have to say that for JD because he's not here.
I was trying to get Jeff to do it right on the spot, and he froze, so I'm glad you took it away, Ergo.
I was about to say it when you cut me off to tell me this, or tell Jeff to say it, I guess.
You got to represent JD, and
Yes.
Jeff's wearing him, so...
you learn from the hat. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, well, let's kick this stuff off. I'm going to open up tonight. We're going to talk about 3 things brands must do to reach the millennial generation online. Now, these 3 things are written by Nick Parsh. He's a North American editor of Contagious, which is a London-based intelligence resource for the global marketing community. That's a mouthful. And the 3 things he says, number 1 is to provide exceptional social media customer service. He gives the example of a retailer, home. It's kind of like a home Bed Bath and Beyond. They're called I've never heard of them, Debenhams. I'm sure they're out of London. Debenhams, which they have Twitter assistants walking the floor. What their job is to walk the floor of the store while on Twitter and answering anybody's questions that they might have, whether it be someone tweeting outside the store or inside the store. They give the example of someone inside the store tweeting about a specific product and the assistant, showing up right next to him saying, "Hey, I'm here to help you." So this retailer has a couple of these so-called Twitter assistants to help in aid their customer service. But the millennial generation is one that expects things now, expects things instantaneously, and expects good customer service. And this is just one way of providing exceptional social media customer service. Their second one is to do good even when it challenges your interests. This is something of, if you're an automaker, doing things to help, lower carbon emissions, come up with fun social marketing campaigns that challenge everyone to lower their carbon emissions. The example they use is Volvo. They marketing their campaign of Fight for Your Right to Clean Air, which emphasized the number of premature UK deaths due to poor air quality linked with fossil fuel combustion. The automaker, taking some responsibility for those deaths, worked with cleangreencars.co.uk to develop an environmental rating system which they hope to implement for every vehicle on the road. It's just an example of how to do things for the interest of the common good of society, even though it will impact you in some way. And the last thing is to be omnipresent. Omnipresent means to be everywhere, to be seen everywhere. So millennials are on different channels. They're on Facebook. They're on Twitter. They're on YouTube. Some MySpace. Some Propeller. Some Buzz. So you want to be in all the channels that your customers reside in. You might find as a brand your particular consumer isn't on Facebook. If you're targeting the millennial generation, however, I'm sure you would be on Facebook. But pick and choose the brands that your consumers are on, and make sure you maintain a consistent brand message across those platforms. So these are just a couple of tips to reach the millennial generation, broken down pretty much Barney style if you check out the article. But yeah, a lot of this stuff to us is common sense. But to some of the older generation people, some of the people who in these big advertising firms who are so used to doing it the old school way of just shooting out a message and hoping it hits the target, this stuff isn't always second nature.
Yeah, no, I never heard of the Twitter in the store type of a thing before.
Yeah,
I think
that'd be
that's
cool.
really cool.
I've never heard that either.
But
I wonder,
you know what?
I wonder if it's actually worth doing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's the
Is
thing.
it worth paying someone?
That's the thing. But I mean, people are tweeting from the stores. Just myself, even last was it Monday or something? I was in a store and I saw a product. They were having a special there or something, and I was tweeting, asking people on Twitter if they have said product and if they would recommend it or not. So the thing is, I don't know how they would determine that it's related to their store. That's really the hard thing also.
Well, apparently
they
have hashtags set up.
Well,
that's basically what the article says is the companies are following certain hashtags that they promote.
But if you're in a store and you want to get a recommendation on a product, are you really going to hashtag that store?
I have no idea.
Well, I could definitely see it working. Having experience in retail, one thing is hashtagging the store number. Like each store has a store number. For example, like Walmart has store 4343. You hashtag 4343 or Walmart 4343, and it can easily work. As far as using Twitter in per store, because like you may live in that area and you just tweet to store 4343 saying, "Hey, do you have this product in stock?" They can go check, tweet, "Yeah, we got it in. We'll hold it up to the service desk for you."
That's okay. That's not
in
bad.
here's in the story they kind of talk about the ROI they gained from it, and they say that the store had an average of 10 inquiries every hour during the course of the experiment, and it led to an interesting follow-up. The store is now inviting product designers to respond to customers' questions. For example, you can ask the person who designed the retailer's bedding range which love seat and throw pillows would match, or inquire a clothing designer for fashion advice. So they've almost taken it a step further.
This might actually bring out a new type of social network in the near future. That's what I'm thinking. For just stores in general, and they can be able to like quickly show a video or TV or picture or something like that. What do you guys think? Do you think that would create a new type of social network? Before you guys answer though, Mike Stinger says, I'd like to hear their stats on how many people actually tweet within the store. Then we can see if it'd be really worth paying someone. Agreed?
Yeah, I'm sure those people also help individuals in the store as well. I'm sure they're like
trained
normal associates that just have an extra duty.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see it add on in the future. I can see in the future, the store employees, when you get to come into work, here's a cell phone for you.
Exactly.
And
I was just going to say the same. Yeah.
And basically, you see, like right now with iPhones, if someone tweets about you, boop, there's a message right on your screen.
Mm-hmm.
There you got a message, and I see that happening. So maybe what's going to be the chaos, where it'd be needed more technology development, is if someone tweets about a store and you have 5 employees, then there's 5 responses, and maybe each response is not the same, and that's where you're going to have a lot of conflict. And I bet you that's probably one of the big issues they had. They said 5 employees, probably 5 people for every day they were open. Each person every day would take a turn versus 5 actual employees working at the same time. That's my only logistics issues I see as far as computer, but I could definitely see something in the future, especially in retail, dealing with the tweeting and social media in general, because honestly, the generation, they could be standing in line complaining about how the line is at store 4343, and it's Walmart, and all of a sudden you see 25, another 2 more registers open up.
Now, I think the tweeting while at home to the store is not necessarily a bad thing, but if you enter in the store, if I'm in a Walmart or whatever store, as the consumer, I almost definitely, I couldn't tell you the store numbers of any of the retail stores around me here, unless they like post signs throughout the store saying, tweet this if you need help or something.
That's what they have to do, is they will have to put signs in front of the door or throughout the hallways, tweet this to, was hashtag this number. And like I said, they can probably do some type of creativity. And then what's going to end up happening is this mindset of addresses. Like, we know how we have a street address. We understand everybody has a street address. Well, soon it's going to be hashtags or some type of identification number for everybody.
Or even more. Actually, Best Buy has started to do this. I can show you on my Twitter icon. These little QR code things here. It's awkward to show this, but those Best Buy, like for example, has those on all the products there. So I mean, it's not the same as Twitter, but you can go to any product and scan it with your phone and get more information on it that way. So they are starting to incorporate some other things that also millennials use. So.
Well, Starbucks 0917 in the audience says, and brings up a good point, not only that, but it lends itself to be abused by employees. A lot of retailers make employees put their cell phones in their lockers now. So, that's kind of a good point when it comes to integrating Twitter or any other type of social network within the retail industry. Their fear is, the employees will abuse it. What do we think about that? Do we think that it'll be abused?
One thing I had to chime in here. Did anybody read the Patriot Act?
The whole
like,
thing?
actually verbatim?
Yeah.
No.
This is from retail and from the legal team. It is against the Patriot Act to require you not to have your cell phone on you.
Huh.
Basically, if an employer confiscates your cell phone, it is against the law. Reason for that, 9/11, they were able to find survivors through their cell phones on their bodies. So basically, the Patriot Act made it a clause that employers cannot ban people from using their cell phone, or not using their cell phone, but not having the cell phone on them.
That's interesting.
A lot of people don't realize that, and employers still don't realize that either. But unfortunately, a couple retailers have gotten in trouble, especially Walmart, for saying you can't have your cell phone on you. Well, legally you can, and you can have it on and have it on silent mode. You just can't remove it out of your pocket.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's actually really.
So if you work at like a Dunkin' Donuts, you'd be like, well, I can't put my cell phone in the locker because of the Patriot Act. The Taliban are going to attack this Dunkin' Donut.
Well, I mean, you have to be respectful, and as Don said, put it in silent mode, airplane mode if you want to, or whatever. But make sure it's off. But still, you have every right to keep it on you. The point is that I guess getting back to the story is being able to tweet while you're working is up to the employer, and how you're spending your time while you're getting paid. I don't know how many retailers are willing to get on board just yet. I wish they would, and it would be interesting to see, and a great step forward.
Well, I mean, what we were talking about a couple weeks ago with how you structure your social media. And one of the ways you can structure it is to democratize it out to all your employees. But at the same time, it takes a lot of, training and education in terms of, having them understand that while they use social media on company time, it's for the benefit of the company, not for their own personal brand, per se. And there has to be some way of monitoring that. And, hopefully, as more and more companies open up to this, the idea of democratizing their social media instead of having it centralized into one person or like a group of people up at the the headquarters of a chain, hopefully employees start to realize or start to understand a little more of how to use it, how to utilize social media for just a business aspect instead of just a personal aspect.
Well, this brings up a good point too. I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, and please forgive me, but Rafi D is me. Great step forward seems like a step backwards for that human to human element. I can see your point when you say that. I'm kind of looking at it from a social media level, though. It's brought us closer in a sense because we're able to reach people farther than we could possibly ever in any other type of medium. So I don't know what you're talking about in regards to human, if that's flesh, or because right now I can talk to somebody in India, and I mean we can do it via Skype right now. We could call somebody up in India. So that brings me more on a human element to somebody else where I couldn't before. But if you're regarding, oh my God, I got it right. Oh, awesome. Okay. Okay, so you're talking about in store, so face to face, which I understand. But the thing is that we are moving into a medium that is more of a technological one, and we're looking to service people more than ever. And we have to look beyond the customer service desk. How can we service people faster? How can we do it cheapest? And social media seems to have a lot of those answers. That's what my theory would be. What do you guys think about that?
Well, if I'm to chime in here, I think what we're looking at is a philosophy debate as far as the one-on-one connection versus the social media technology connection. What Rafi D is talking about is I want to be able to walk up to the associate and say, can you help me with something, before that associate goes, well, do you have the ticket number for your issue? And so I can look it up on my computer system and find out what you're looking for, what your question was, what department you're looking for, versus just asking the question, what can I help you with? What it will look like as far as, this is just the start of a system-based help ticket system. So these are just baby steps, but what the issue is, and it's a scary thought, and this is happening because of retail, and I see it firsthand as I've worked in retail, is the old school of doing business. In other words, hey, I want help, talk to me as a one-on-one person, not as a number. And a lot of people are leaving Walmart to go to, say, Kmart because of the fact they're being treated as a number. Now, if you just type away on a Twitter saying, hey, I need help at store, blah, 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 and then Joe Frank 001 replies back, oh, it's in aisle 3, versus taking that customer to the aisle and then asking, is there any additional help I can help you with? Or even that, just talking about a product. If they say, oh, I need an iron. Okay, let's take a look at the irons. We got different type of irons we have here. What iron are you looking for? If they sit there and go, I'm looking for an iron, I don't even really know what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for a good, reliable iron. What are your opinions about it? Now, that conversation can take less than maybe 5-10 minutes. But through Twitter, it can take maybe even longer, but we don't realize it. Some people think, oh, it's instantaneous, so you can talk it. But really, the conversation, the facial, the expression, like I might be in a miserable mood, and I want my answer now. And then if I'm not returning fast enough, I'm complaining. I didn't go. Or if the guy was a happy mood, maybe he wants to listen to a couple more things. Maybe the replacement plan. Like all these human elements are being removed out of with social media, basically taking the emotion out of human elements. And that's what Rafi D is kind of saying. Where is the ability to upsell? Where is the ability to build relationships? And I understand, Aaron, basically you probably fire back, well, it's supposed to enhance it. But I can see it. Some companies going too far with it, because the people who use Twitter and people who use the social media platform are a little more intelligent than the average person when it comes to using of the social media platform. I know retailers right now are still kind of leery because the mass majority of people are not in social media just yet.
And I get what you're saying, and I totally agree with it. I love it when I can go and talk to someone face to face, and I don't suggest for retailers to start using Twitter as their help desk. But what I am saying is that regardless of whether it's online or offline, if you're regarded as a number or as a subject or as just another sale, period, you're going to be frustrated. It doesn't matter if it's online or offline. If they decide to use Twitter or Facebook or YouTube, or like I was saying, another type of social network where they can help their customers enhance their customer service base, I'm all for that. As long as they keep in mind the basics when it comes to customer service is, friendly and a smile, whether it's in text, whether it's in video, or whether it's in person.
Well, I can speak this from a direct point of view, and I work for an auto dealership here in Ohio, and we use Twitter very heavily in terms of reaching prospective buyers or customer service. And one of the things that we do, we set up Twitter searches around the geographical area. So we cover the metro areas, and we search for key phrases such as oil change or need a car, or our make Ford. But just those generic things. So when that pops up, car broke down, need this or need oil change, where's the best spot? I'm there, I know, and then I can immediately jump into the conversation and say, well, hey, if you check in Foursquare at our dealership, you get, a $14 oil change. Or, hey, you're looking for this vehicle? Here's some resources to help you in your purchasing decision. Let me know if you need anything else. And, it is, it being a car dealership and it being a very committed purchase. It's not like, purchasing throw pillows where, it's kind of an impulse buy. It's more of a commitment thing. And you really have to use it as a way of just kind of building a level of trust with those individuals and keep the communication going with those people over a period of time. So after I answer their question, we have a conversation going back and forth, about the car shopping experience. I'll engage with them on a more of a personal level, like, hey, how you doing? Or retweet their stuff, or, just have more direct personal interactions with them, while we're maintaining that kind of business casual relationship. But I see it more as an opening for me to get to know them a little more.
And that's smart, because monitoring your online sentiment is important, and that includes your online in general as a global thing, as well as your social networks. Using the Twitter search, for example, or using Facebook search. There's various types of features out there or tools that you can use that can help you monitor certain key phrases that can help you better your business, for sure. And speaking about connecting, we're going to move on to our next story here with Facebook. Facebook changing its profiles, and maybe some of you are aware of hearing about it, and maybe some of you have seen it, have it, but some of you might not. Like me, it wasn't rolled out to me yet, but I can tell you a way of how you can have it immediately changed on your Facebook profile if you want to. Now, they just did it this week, so your profile basically in a snapshot begins with a quick summary of who you are. So you're able to connect with people better by giving your friends an easy way to see where you live now, where you're working, and more if you choose. It'd be a collection of recently tagged photos. It will also be what you've been up to lately. So, the first things that people ask you is, what have you been up to lately? How have you been? Where are you working? Where do you live now? Those are the most recent things you get from those high schoolers or elementary school friends that you had. Most common questions. So they're putting that at the top of your profile, and what it does is it pushes the wall down. So first you'll get what you're doing now, where you're working, where you're living, and recent tagged photos of you, and then the wall. And it'll also give you the opportunity to discover common interests. So between you and the person who's looking to friend you, it'll showcase the things you care about most and connect with friends who share the same interests as you. So this will be including sports teams, the people who inspire you, and your top interests now will appear as a row of images, so you can just drag and drop to put in your favorites list. Kind of convenient, I'd say. Okay, so you can also put meaningful relationships within lists. So it's different from the lists, and I know Facebook's getting even more confusing because they have the Facebook lists, and then they have the group chats, which some people still get confused with that being groups or similar to being lists. But here's an opportunity for you to showcase your best friends, your college friends, your coworkers, anybody who means anything to you. You can put them in a list. We can have a social blade list, and we can have that right on our profile so people can see that right away as soon as they friend you or want to friend you. You can also show people how you connect with friends. So you can show your mutual friends, events you're both planning to attend, and shared group photos with wall posts and a lot more. If you want to upgrade it to the new profile, give it a try. It's facebook.com/about/profile. It's facebook.com/about/profile. We will have this on our blog. The most interesting part about the new Facebook profiles is actually the pictures. If anybody who uses Facebook knows that when you go to look at a photo album, it's kind of difficult when you click that next button and it still just swivels and swivels, and it's so annoying because you just want to see it real quick. Well, fortunately, there's going to be a cool new infinite scroll feature, which makes it faster and more fun to browse all of your photos. So the Friends page now allows you to quickly find the people you're looking for. Just search by name, hometown, school, or a number of other types of dimensions that you can find these folks. You can also meet a ton of ultimate players, people that you're in groups with. If you are on a baseball team or if you're in a league and you want to find somebody you played with last week, here's a way you can connect more. So this profile, the intentions is to better connect you with people and for them to find you a lot easier than what they can now. What do you think about the new Facebook profile? Do any of you guys have it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have it.
I just upgraded while we were on the show here, so I was showing it to people here.
Actually, I got it last night, and I was fiddling around with it earlier today. And two things. I do like the new design. Though I do feel it's a little cluttered and a little busy, especially on the wall. I like how you can customize everything very easily in the info tab. How you can just add things very quickly. It just seems more simple on the back end of everything. That being said, I think what's interesting is, when Facebook started off, there was a lot of emphasis on the profile picture.
Right.
Like the profile picture was like one of the major things about a Facebook profile, and now it seems like they're shifting away from that. If you look at your page now, it just seems like they're trying to bring more emphasis into you as a person all around, rather than just your profile pic and your wall. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I understand what he's saying. Basically, it's a shift from different person. It's the mindset is, which everybody is again, is the whole moral of the story is, you don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
And that basically is what Facebook built. It's like how you said, it focused more on the profile picture, and that's what everybody was looking at. Everybody's looking at the picture, and if you're sitting there with a drink going, basically that told something about you. But if you go to your page, you show you went to all these charities and you donated money and you love dogs and it shows you're a good rounded person. But you have a picture of you drinking alcohol and you're passed out. That says a different story. So that's why I think they're trying to focus more on the personality, because employers are looking at their Facebook pages and looking at that profile pic, because the pic is worth a million words, where a profile page only has maybe 300 words. So, like I said, Jeff is correct as far as they're moving away from that, is because the fact they want to make sure that you may post an embarrassing profile pic, but it won't destroy you.
Yeah, it just seems like they're bringing more of you to the surface initially. Instead of having to dig into everything, they just brought everything up to the surface so you can see, okay, this is where I work, this is where I went to school, immediately here's who I'm in a relationship with. It seems like there's just more of you as an individual on the official page.
Well, that just brings us back to what we were just talking about, being more than a number. This is being more than a picture.
Who's that sexy man right there?
I think underneath all that JD-ness that you have going on, it could be Jeff Kreider Jr. But, I think this is a smart move for Facebook in regards to, I bet you there's tons of emails that they have to filter through there that say, hey, are you the same Jeff that I went to school with at Ohio Elementary School? I know I've received those types of emails, and I think they're trying to just weed those out, help you get connected with the right people, let them know that it really is you, and I totally agree they're probably trying to get more information and so they can sell it. It's Facebook, let's face it.
Yeah. Do they have anything? Have you heard anything? With them changing, official business pages?
They're not looking to change them. I mean, the most recent change that they did was the size. They've obviously made it smaller, and people had to scramble. But besides that, they haven't done much in regards to pages. And I don't think they're looking to do much more for pages. I know that there's other companies out there, and I just read something today in regards to static markup language. And as you guys know, there's Facebook markup language. And this is something that can be used for Facebook as well. But in regards to Facebook itself, it's not looking to make any changes to the pages, but it is looking to increase the actual search on Facebook. And therefore, you can find your businesses a lot faster, a lot easier, because even now you can search for a business that you know very well is on Facebook, but you can't find them, and it's frustrating. So that's something they do need to spend a lot more time on. And I think with Google's frustration towards them and little spat that they had with them recently, I think Facebook has more than enough to want to go and fix their search for us.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there. I mean, one of the things, like I mentioned a little bit ago, was, finding interest, finding just overall, like you said, search is just so much easier. It just seems much more user-friendly than what it was. Much more streamlined, much more smooth, and much more effective.
But with that said, 2011 is just around the corner. We know Facebook has something planned for us. So I look forward to what the future holds with Facebook, and it seems like they're changing big things quite regularly now. So we never know what's going to be in store for us. And I think as a user, I'm looking to connect more with people and online and be able to find people that I want to be able to connect with or get reconnected with. So this way, creating the profile to be a lot simpler, less of a, hey, is this you? Yes, no, maybe, that type of thing. They can just look, they can see where you've lived, where you live now, who you're friends with, what categories you're placing these people in, your family members, those types of things. And you know what? For somebody who wants to remain a little bit more private, don't switch over. However, they are rolling this out come early January, and I don't know if it's going to be a have to keep that profile.
Are you
but I wouldn't doubt it.
Are you able to switch back, by the way, if you join the beta and don't like it?
I have no idea.
Like on Twitter, you're able to switch back and forth.
Well, yeah. Let's just hope. The one thing that I do hope is they just don't
MySpace it.
kind of throw away the whole, because what made Facebook so great is just the complexity through simplicity almost.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, you could do so much, but the layout was just simple.
Yeah.
And just I don't want them to keep adding bells and whistles and whatchamacallits and widgets to everything. Just keep it simple.
By the way, we had been running a poll in the audience here, and there's really no clear winner. We had 4 choices in the poll, and it looks like it was about a quarter per each choice, just about. Love it, hate it, don't care, and haven't seen it yet. Really all split there.
Well, it's going to be rolling out. I don't know. It doesn't state, and of course Facebook wouldn't. They're not going to state, yes, you can switch it back like Twitter would. But I'm definitely going to look into it to see if people can switch it back, especially after it's rolled out to just about everybody, and see if you have a choice. Now, we know when they make changes on Facebook and when they've made changes with our newsfeed, we can't change it back. It is what it is, and we all see our status updates going, I hate the new Facebook. I hate the new Facebook for about 2 months, and then everybody's used to it, and we are all over it. But coming January, I mean, it's going to be to everybody. So whether you opt in now or not, you're going to have probably no choice but to.
Yeah. Well, many of you probably have noticed this month that people have been changing their profile pictures to cartoon characters and wondering why. Well, it has to deal with promoting child abuse or child abuse activism.
Not promoting child abuse. What is
well, yeah, that didn't sound right, did it?
Stop that. That's not at all what it was doing.
Rewind.
Yeah, I got... Anyway, Ergo, would you like to talk to us about online activism?
Yes. Oh, wow! You just got us in a lot of trouble there, Jeff. No, okay. So there was a couple of things that came up in the past week or two related to sort of. I would personally call it almost failed activism online here, or maybe at least nothing that really helps. So on Facebook over this past weekend, everyone was changing their icon to a cartoon character, and supposedly the whole reason of doing this was if enough people changed their icon to cartoon characters, it would stop child abuse. And my thoughts on this, I had tweeted this over the weekend and actually referenced this article that we're showing right here. And I'm all for stopping child abuse and whatnot, but changing your profile icon, how is that doing anything? I mean, it doesn't hurt, but I mean, if you're on Facebook and you're thinking, "Wow, I just want to go abuse a child or something like that."
Oh wait, Papa Smurf's there. I can't do it.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. That's. Oh. Yeah. I don't.
I think there's other ways to Don, Don, did you raise the roof or are you raising your hand?
I raised my hand. I got example.
Go for it.
Basically, one of the big things, this is something that I understand what they were doing. That, I think the extreme was the stop it. I think it was more awareness. Is what the campaign. It was the child abuse awareness of not prevention. And that's what the miscommunication kind of got up. But the thing is that you'd be surprised about how much people don't know about anything in this world. And changing that picture, someone may sit there and go, "Oh, I didn't know I can't punch my child." No, I'm not joking. You may all sit there and laugh and say, "Oh my God, are you serious?" And no, there's people out there that punch their children, kick them, burn them. They throw them down the stairs to punish them. They don't know that that's child abuse, and nor does the child think it's child abuse. So by changing the profile pic, it's like, "What is child abuse? What are you talking about?" Start conversation. And it says, "Oh yeah, it's when you hit your child." What do you mean you hit your child? Like punching your child or throwing them down the stairs? Oh, and that parent become aware of it. Now, like I said, you guys may not realize, understand, see, how's that supposed to stop it? It's just become aware of it, and it actually affected me in general. Is because another social person on Twitter talked about why is this they were really kind of irritated at it or something like that, and I tweeted back saying because he says that you shouldn't be doing that, you should be doing more than just that, and I tweeted back saying no, that is part of awareness, is doing the small stupidest things. It's the same thing, breast cancer awareness. Women start wearing the pink ribbons to say, why were you wearing the pink ribbon? Why are you wearing something pink like that on your dress, or why? Or when they wear bandanas or whatever the ribbons on their arms for vets, or a cop dies, they put the black thing around, or the half mast. Why? Why are you doing it?
I totally see your point, but at the same time, I don't know if that's necessarily raising a lot of awareness, because a lot of people will be like, "Hey, I love the Smurfs," or "Hey, I love Scooby-Doo," more than, "Hey, why is your profile picture that?" If they had something that was one picture of stop hitting kids, and people decided to put that all over the place, to me that would make more sense. Or, for example, recently, and they were just talking about it in the chat room here, when all these celebrities were saying, "We're going to stop using social media and raise awareness about AIDS." And I think it's a great thing, a great cause to try to raise awareness, but why not use your voice? Use your capabilities and your outreach, especially within social media as a celebrity, and talk to these people about the awareness of what's going on with AIDS and raise money for AIDS. And I mean, that's just something else that I think people have dropped the dime on. It's there are so many ways you can campaign or find a way to reach out to people, and people are looking for it. I mean, we're hungry for it. So,
I mean, I didn't even know why people were changing their pictures. I just thought I was like, what in the world is going on here? It was just what in the hell?
Why is everybody changing? And that's when you ask, that causes discussion. And why are you changing your pick? Why is everybody changing your pick? There you go.
But a lot of people, when they're changing their pick, they're not saying why. They're just saying, change your pick to a cartoon character. They're not saying to help raise awareness for abuse against children. And I think that's where we're getting lost. I mean, it's kind of like that, that telephone cord that you talk through, and then one person hears something, and then they tell it to somebody else, and then they tell us. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
And then it becomes about cartoon pictures. That's it. Yeah. They lose. Yeah, the message is lost in translation. Thank you, Rafi.
I actually think that Jeff's idea would have been a much more a better way to go about it, in the sense of using a specific icon and having everyone change it to that. I think that would have brought a much bigger message.
I definitely agree with that, but like the thing is what made this more interesting is the fact that you made a cartoon character that you liked as a kid, made it more home-based. And that's why it says, the translation, the telephone broke down, and halfway through made everybody change their phone. Oh, just change your profile. Okay. But then when the news stories came out and shows like us talking about the subject matter, and there's 22 people in the room, they all realized, oh, ta-da, folks, that is the power of social media, is the fact that, everybody's discussing how stupid it is. It's discussion. If they never did it, if no one set out to doing, if 10 people didn't set out and go, let's change our profile to show awareness, then we wouldn't be discussing this. We'd be talking about why the AIDS thing's failing. That's
good point. Good point. Yeah, that's definitely a good point. I mean, we definitely are talking about it, but I think that the purpose is lost, and that's where it gets frustrating within social media.
Okay. Well, let's translate this into what the celebrities, a select few celebrities were doing over Twitter. Was it a couple weeks ago? I think it's still going, where they basically said we're doing a social media blackout until you raise X amount of dollars for Alicia Keys's AIDS charity.
That's the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah, oh my God, how narcissistic is that, man? It makes me just
off. That pisses me off. You sit there and say, you know what? I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do the social media thing at all. And then it's like, okay, so I'm following you because I want to know what's going on with your career, and now you're telling me I'm not going to talk to you until you pay up.
Mm-hmm.
That's so stupid.
I'm like, screw you. I'm not going to follow you. I wouldn't even go to that person's movie. Yeah, I understand what they're doing as a charity, but you know what? Way bad taste. I understand the concept. They did the profile pitch of them in the coffin. They're supposed to be dead because they died of AIDS. No. You do a concert. You do something to bring happiness, bring joy to this world. Not, death. Yeah, we know AIDS sucks. You know he dies. Come on, folks. Do something happy. Make everybody joyful. And then people will go, okay, here's money. Because I don't want to spend money on death. Who wants to spend money on death? No one does. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, no, I mean, let's just be real. That's the thing. I mean, they needed to come up with a better campaign. I mean, the worst thing you can do is for you to say I'm going to go off social media because I'm going to raise awareness about something, and I want you to raise money for me so I can go off of Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, it's basically
like, so popular. I mean, use your voice.
Like if you want me to talk to you or you want to know what's going on in my life, you have to pay up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's such BS.
Well, I mean, if
shame,
it works,
shame on them.
If it works, I would be surprised Twitter would start making paid subscriptions to Twitter feeds. I wouldn't be surprised at
that. Yeah.
The best part, or the worst, I don't want to say the worst part or the best part, but I mean, it's not doing well. Like the whole thing is not doing well.
No, and they're not getting the point across. I mean, basically they're making people frustrated. What social media is about connecting and talking and finding out things about people and what they love and what they hate. And I mean, this is an opportunity, unlike, as I said before, unlike any other type of medium before it. I mean, you see them get on the TV spots and they're saying, even in regards to the bullying that happened recently, all the bullying that was going on and the suicides, and they do the spots. And they bring awareness to it through TV, where here they can reach millions of people with one tweet or a Facebook status update or create a YouTube video and talk. They can reach a lot of people because they have the power. They have the following. They have people who want to know every last breath they take. And they missed the mark on it. It's horrible. They missed the mark.
I'm sorry, I laugh at your girl's apparently humility annotation about if you want to hear your girl talk, pay up on PayPal.
Yes, ergo. Well, who would pay for that? I don't know.
I just couldn't stop. I had to take it down. I needed to talk.
He could not stop himself.
So, yeah. I think that's enough about the failed attempts there. So let's get to talking a little more to Don here now. Don, can you tell us a little about what you do on YouTube? I mean, that's kind of your thing, right? You spend a lot of time on YouTube doing. Here, I'm gonna pull up your channel while you're talking here. Can you tell us a little about it?
Well, basically, my channel, Don Vantel on YouTube, basically I set out because I believe, before I back up, the reason why I'm on YouTube. One of the things that I do truly believe is YouTube is that unseen thing that no one sees coming. Content, making videos that are high quality that competes against Hollywood standards. Because the old system, which is basically having a director, writer, actors, unions, all that stuff, it really is not the same in the YouTube world. The YouTube world, one man does everything. And one man can bring in the following of one mega star, or even have a following of one major network television. It may happen, like get 1 million views in one week, but the scary thought is one man can bring in 1,000 or 1 million views. And you need a huge like crew of 50, 60 people for a television show to pull in 3 to 5 million views in 1 hour. So the numbers, you look at the numbers, yeah, YouTube's really small. But if you think about the costs and look at the power, the amount of work that needs to be put in and the effects of that work, you start realizing, you know what, something may be changing here. And that's when I saw YouTube, and I saw people grow within 1 year. Shane Dawson went from being, everybody doesn't know what Shane Dawson TV is, but it's another a mega YouTube star. He went from 250,000 subscribers to 1 million within a year. And that's still more and more and more. Nigga, I think, I can't pronounce his name, probably pronounced it horribly. But basically, I think he has over 2 million subscribers now.
Yep, 2.9 actually. He's going to be hitting 3.
I thought it was Higaniga. I think it's Higaniga.
He should be hitting 3 million before Christmas.
So basically, 3 million subscribers. I think he hit 1 million this year. I think that basically, yeah, it was all like, so he hit 3 million subscribers within 1 year. That's mind-boggling. That is just blowing the minds. And if that's just one person, that's just one. And then you get to the 2 million, that's 5. And then you get to the 1 million mark, it's probably 10. And then you get lower, and then you see the change, like a pyramid effect. What you realize is that there is how many channels out there, how many different programs, and all those people be employed. So basically what I'm trying to say is that with Facebook, with social media, people are going to start pulling away from the normal form of entertainment from Hollywood standard. Like right now, Hollywood's panicking. That's why Hulu Plus is coming out. That's why Hulu's like, oh, you can watch it on the internet. And you get every show ever made and every movie ever made. That's great. It's great to do that. But you know what? You have to wait the next day when it's on television, because television's still the king of everything. For me, I don't have cable. I have the internet, and I watch everything on Hulu if I want to watch Hulu. And yes, I do watch Hulu because YouTube doesn't have quality entertainment just yet. There's some people I do watch constantly. When they make a new video, I watch it right away, so I'm not behind. But imagine if that quality of entertainment was all the time. Then Hulu has a true competition. That people go, oh, I can go watch one guy and make him beneficial, then watch Hulu, get a whole bunch of ads and beneficial a money-grabbing company that drives and makes like the writers, directors, and actors pay very little. And some big company makes the money. Where if I go and watch a YouTube video, that guy is just getting the money. No one else. Maybe Google. That's it.
So is that what caused you to go on on YouTube? I'm going to say Facebook because that's what's on my brain all the time.
I understand I'm boring you, Aaron. I understand I'm boring you, but
no, you're not boring me at all. I'm like, I read something and then I'm like, oh, Facebook, okay. And you know, Ergo goes around with this mug, and I was just saying last week I need to go around with FB on my head at all times. But my question is that what caused you to go on YouTube? Because you're like, you know what? This is beyond TV. This is beyond any other type of medium like radio or newspapers. It's like YouTube is going to be the next big thing, or is the big thing that everybody's forgetting about.
That is correct. That's what I went on YouTube, and I put all my, like, I didn't go to college for this stuff. I didn't do any of this. I basically focused my energy, and also, like, I'm a good person. I like helping people out, and I'm like, how can someone like me, who really doesn't have too much talent, I'm not a funny man. I'm not a person that can write good content, but I understand what people want.
Yeah. That's
my skill, and I understand the social media. I understand what people like. And I understand what makes people successful on YouTube. One of the biggest people I helped almost daily is Filmhawk. Filmhawk, me and him started at the same time. And within 1 year, I helped him get up to 10,000 subscribers, pulling an average video about 2,000 to 3,000 views per video. And like I said, he made the content, but I helped him understand the editing, the lighting, the sound, the purpose of why you have to edit a video a certain way. But he did the content. He made everything else. But basically, he understood how to edit on the computer. I didn't teach him actually how to edit, but I understood, hey, dude, you got to keep your videos under 2 minutes. You have to, the first 10 seconds, you got to have a joke. And then after 10 seconds, you have another 30 seconds, you have to tell another joke. Because people's attention span, if you don't have me now, I'm going to click off. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, is like, people like don't trust anything on YouTube, and if you talk to anybody, if you just go to a random person and go, what do you think of YouTube, the first thing out of their mouth is viral videos or that kid that sings. But like, people don't like. And if you talk to a younger person who is in YouTube, oh, Shane Dawson TV, and oh, I watched Nision, and oh, I watched this guy and that guy. Oh, YouTube is great. So the mindset of the people, it's interesting. And through Facebook is what's going to be the change we're going to see, the battleground.
So what you're saying is a majority of people use it just as a resource, where others use it as a way of connecting and building?
Yes. And basically, right now, I'm using it as a resource to connect and help people make better videos, because some people are on there, like I said, I know we talked about this before. Why is everybody on YouTube? Why is everybody on there? Is they're just there for the fame? They want the 1,000 people love me, or are they on there for a career? Or they want to make a career out of YouTube, or are they trying to break into acting? And like, every single person's individually different, and that's what makes YouTube so beautiful. Is the fact that you got one person who just wants to make tutorial videos. That's all they want to do. They just make tutorial videos about cooking. And then some have a different style, like all these different people. Makeup artists. Like, you see tons of makeup artists. They don't look to be famous. They just want to connect people with other women who want to show off how to make makeup. Because, like, the same thing, child awareness. No one knows some women don't know how to put on certain makeup. Like, it says, how do you put makeup on your eyelashes? Oh, yeah, you can use this, or you can use that, or you can use this device, or there's a new device that no one knows about.
Now, are you advising them off personal experience?
As far as
with the makeup.
Well, this is unfortunate. Watch too many videos. And that's the understanding of every aspect of YouTube. Like, says people think, like, they see Shane Dawson, Ray William Johnson, they see these are the big YouTubers, but there's so much diversity. There is so many different types of videos out there. Some styles are very successful. Other ones aren't. It all comes down to, what do you want to do on YouTube? For me, I just want to help people make those videos that they're making a little bit better. And make them understand that you don't have to spend 10, 15 hours working on a video and not get 500 or 600 views when you only make 10 views. Or even increase your subscriber percentage. In other words, if you make one video and you get only one subscriber. Well, if you make another video and you all of a sudden get 25 subscribers, why? Why did you get that? because of the quality of video. You made it shorter. It was entertaining. They laughed. They shared it. And see what I'm saying? It's different things because of the content, the style, the lighting. It wasn't like a webcam where like it says I have well lit. This is pretty much the ideal example of great YouTube experience.
Real quick, more banter writes in the chat. Are you basing your suggestions on film knowledge or YouTube experience, a la what has been popular?
Mostly is YouTube experience. And unfortunately, what people think when I talk about this stuff is, oh, this is popular because of Shane Dawson. Oh, this is popular. There's a reason why Shane Dawson where he is today. Okay, this is not like you may be copying Shane Dawson's style as far as editing style, but that is the reason why people subscribe, because they were able to understand him.
Yeah.
Film is just language. If you don't speak a common language with anybody else, then you're not going to get your point across. People are going to have to think. Unfortunately, majority of the people in this world are stupid. And unfortunately, I'm on saying this on live recorded view stream everywhere. But honestly, prove me wrong.
Well, I have a question here from Kat and Tracy, who taught me how to say her name properly from the YouTube video.
I was going to say, good job.
She wants to know what are your suggestions about niche groups?
Well, niche groups is you look at the person who's gaining the most subscribers quickly. What are they doing? Look at their Twitters. Look at their Facebook. What are they doing? Their interaction with their subscribers and as well as their content. How they edit it. What their editing style is. How well lit is it? The sound. How their sound. Now, if you have someone who's a webcam and has poor lighting and somehow they have over 100,000 subscribers, then there's more than meets the eye there. Then you have to dig deeper. You have to look at their Twitter account. They have to look at their Facebook account. Look at those things, or maybe Daily Booth. Can't even name all those things that are social media based. Blog TV. Are they doing any of these other things, building a relationship with people, and they don't care about the lighting and the sound and stuff like that because they care about the character? Because there's different types of things. That's the reason why Filmhawk really kind of took off. He was a great person and he made great content. But you can also be a good person and make poor content and still get the subscribers. But for those who make it to the top, they're a great person online and they make great content.
So what are the top 5 things you would suggest to someone who's new to YouTube? What would you say that they needed to do? Top 5 things.
The top 5 things is understand YouTube is not, the first one is basically YouTube is not the world. Is not like the realm of what you see of YouTube is not the social media what it is. YouTube actually expands into all the realms of social media. YouTube is Twitter, Facebook, Blog TV, and just basically interaction with people in the world. You need to have all 5. Basically, I don't even name any other social media site out there that's popular. That's it. Basically, those are the 5 things you really need to understand, is that you have to interact with people. And if you're not a social-based person, you're going to fail. Unless your content is, like, amazing. Like Freddie W. I don't know if you guys seen Freddie W., but his content is just well put together. He went to film school. He has the equipment. He has everything. He's doing the old school style with the new school filming. And basically, he's blowing up the charts. Now, I looked at his Twitter accounts. He's not really that social. He doesn't do blog TV, but because his content is amazing, he's able to build a following really quickly, and he's building his team up on YouTube and also getting doors open. One of his big things is the person. He did that road trip across the country, and he was able to meet up with 10, 15 people every time, or 20 people, 30 people. Those are 30 people in real life. I met Freddie W. And they go tell their friends on their Facebook, and then that's how they're so like, oh my God, this guy actually met you. Oh, this guy has great content. Oh, this guy's awesome. That effect ricochets throughout the United States of America, and he just picked up a crap load of more subscribers and on people watching them. But basically, understanding, we're back to, I'm sorry, I kind of rant here, but basically, understanding YouTube is not just a site, it's the entire social experience.
Well, and I mean, YouTube shows up very well for SEO as well. When people search for things online, YouTube, because I mean, obviously Google owns YouTube, but also, I mean, it ranks well. People like video. It's quicker, it's faster. You know, I don't have to sit there and read. The same reason why pictures are important too. But you know, the other thing is we have a lot of chatter going on about content. What type of content would you suggest makes a good YouTube video?
Well, when it comes to content, this is someone I was advising on when they were asking, like as far as asking help because they were starting off new on YouTube. Make content that reflects who you are. That's basically what it comes down to. Because honestly, people want to see people, not characters. They want someone who basically they can relate to and know. You know what? That guy can be my friend. Shane Dawson is basically who he is. What his content reflects who he is. These characters are just people that he made up, not like yeah, he may be stereotypical, but it's reflection of who he is. It's not I'm playing completely someone different else. It's not like I didn't have someone write the script of this person for me to play. This is my own creation. And that is really the big thing. Content. What do you want to be known by? What do you want to be represented? Because you can delete your channel. Doesn't mean your videos are going to go away. People can hack your account, but copy your videos and post them all over the place. Viral videos is a big example of that. You have a good viral video, you post it on YouTube, all of a sudden 300 other people copied your video. You can file a DMC claim, but they're just going to keep posting it, keep posting it. But the biggest thing as far as content, make it whatever your reflection of you. I've seen the best people grow quicker on YouTube when they make content that reflects who they are and they talk real. They talk to the people as if they're friends. If it's just you and me talking, I just talk to you.
Yeah, Jeff and I were actually talking about this before the show. We were saying, you know, back in the old days in radio, it was encouraged to come up with, you know, a character for your radio personality. You were supposed to be, you know, Mad Dog at midnight, or something like that. But now, you know, when you're taught radio, you're taught to go away from that. And you know, some people with especially a social network like YouTube think, hey, maybe I should come up with a character, and that way I might gain some popularity. And let's not say that there hasn't been. I know there's some YouTubers out there that I thoroughly enjoy. And there's one, for instance, and I've talked about him before with Jeff and Ergo, Gunnarolla. And he wears glasses that have no lenses. And he's quite hilarious. I enjoy his YouTube videos, look forward to it. But again, like you said, Don, he has great lighting, he has great video quality, and then, of course, comes the content. And so I think it's dependent. I appreciate people who, if I can meet them in real life, they're similar to what they were like online. Just because that, to me, feels like I was actually spending my time getting to know somebody. But at the same time, you can do certain things that brings out other qualities within you that could still be quite popular, but yet stay true to yourself. Don't pretend to be somebody that you're not, because if you do go to a YouTube meetup, or if you're on another social network and you go to a different type of meetup and they meet you and then you're like, hey, that's not how I thought they were. It's disappointing, and they might not come back for you afterwards.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, you know, like we were talking about last night, you know, with Fred. You know, he's trying to branch out to do different characters, and you know, Don, you were talking about his latest character that basically flopped. And you know, are people showing up to, you know, watch that particular person, or are they just in love with the character? And how difficult is it as someone, you know, in social media who has his character like Fred? Is it to kind of get away from that, not to typecast themselves, or you know, do you lose, you know, who you actually are online? You know, so when you go to these meetings where you want to meet, you know, other fellow YouTubers, you know, do you have to act like the character Fred, or do you act like yourself?
You're absolutely right there. That's the the harm if you portray a character. Yeah, I think if you're yourself, you know, and you do characters from time to time or something like that, that's a different thing. But if people get to know you as the character, then absolutely they expect the character.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is the character development, like knowing Orange, Fred, Those guys are characters, and people that, like, there are some characters that people just love. Like Fred, as much as everybody hates him, they watch him, and they love him, and that's the reason why he got his movie. That's why, like, that propelled his career. But the thing is that you can always duplicate that. As much as he may sit there and say he started off the new character, but honestly he screwed that up horribly by putting on. It's like I was telling you guys before, was that it's like putting porn on Disney Channel. You don't do it. You can't just people subscribe to videos a lot of times. They subscribe and say, you know what, this video is hilarious. I want more of this, and they subscribe to it. And all of a sudden the next day they see a video of some kid going, "Hey guys, my name is Bob, and I'm here to tell you about my day." What happened to that funny video about the kid getting hit in the head with a baseball bat? And you knew that was scripted. You knew it was a skit, but now this kid's blogging. Unsubscribe. So, like, that's what a lot of people don't realize is that people don't go to their channels. They don't go to, like if there's someone really that interested in that person, they will go to their channel and watch 3 or 4 videos. But if they just like that video, they're going to subscribe thinking, I'm going to get more of this content. It's like, here's a candy bar. You like that candy bar. What's the first words out of your mouth? I want more candy bar. Oh, okay. Well, you subscribe. Okay, is it free? Yeah. Okay, I'll subscribe. And all of a sudden I give you a ham sandwich for my candy bar. I'm not subscribing anymore. Click.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same thing. That's like, back in the day when we'd be like, what's your age, sex, and location? And then people would be like, oh, I'm like 25 and I live in Alaska and I'm female, and then you come to find out that they're not, that type of moment. That's kind of what it feels like. It's like an AOL moment.
That's hard to do on YouTube there, by the way.
Okay, but Ham E brings up a good point. I mean, there are certain characters out there that have gotten a movie because of the character, but you have to remember it's like me hiring somebody, like for instance Matt Damon, who's an actor, for his character in one of the Bourne Identity movies, and wanting him to be that character all the time. And it's hard. So that's where it comes into video. I think that's an interesting topic in itself. That, when it comes to video, of course with text and with your pictures online, you should be as honest as you possibly can. And if you're under 13, don't be on it. But on video, you have to be careful, because if a business is going to buy into the character and they're expecting that character to really be you, that might be hard. That might definitely be hard. But Don, you do a great job with your videos, and people should definitely be subscribing. You're going to take us out now, Argo, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Don, thank you very much for joining the show here. Any parting words that you'd like to empower everyone with?
Just guys, make sure you subscribe to Social Blade. Like I said, the other YouTube channel. And definitely, I definitely see this kind of show taking off. Especially different guests and stuff like that. But thank you guys for letting me be part of this, and being part of, especially you guys starting off new. I know you have like 60 or 70 shows already, but still, like I said, I definitely see something big coming out of this.
Well, thank you.
We appreciate it, man.
So if people want to learn more about you, where would you recommend that they go?
Basically, just go to my YouTube account, youtube.com/Don Vantel.
All right, and they can also check out your Twitter as well, right?
Twitter.com/DonVantel.
So, yeah, thank you very much for joining and everything there. We'd also like to thank our audience. You guys are awesome. You always join here and really bring the conversation along with us, and we really enjoy that, and you really help make the show there as well. So, thanks for that. And we'd also recommend, as Don mentioned, to check out our Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And you can go to twitter.com/socialblade or facebook.com/socialblade or youtube.com/socialblade. You can also go to our website itself, socialblade.com, the site just like that. And you can find all the different sections there, including the show page, which we'll have all the past episodes, as well as our social media style news blogs. You can also check out our brand new YouTube stats over there as well, where you can track your YouTube channel. And also on the socialblade.com/show, if you have a guest like Don Vantel that you think that we should have on the show, you can suggest a guest as well. If you head over to j.mp/subus, that's SUBUS, you can sign up for SMS alerts. So, you get a little alert on your phone every time we go live. We send that out. So, good way to remember about the show in case you're, out and about or downstairs watching TV and you want to still keep in touch with the show. On that same site, you can sign up for SMS alerts from sort of our partner shows also, which is The Drill Down, Ask Outcast, and Band on the Web. We'd also like to thank our sponsor, which is lightspeednow.com. And yes. So, again, until next week, we're on every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern and some other time zones as well. Just 10 p.m. Eastern.
7 p.m. Pacific.
No, we don't need the other one.
He only cares about his time zone.
Yeah.
That's it.
Clear those time zones.
We're Central Time. We're Central Time, guys.
Just figure it out. We could give you the UTC time, but...
Yes. Cat in Tracy says, ergo, fail, and I have to agree.
No, it wasn't a fail. I didn't want to actually read off the other time zones. That was totally not a fail. That was totally intentional. So
Trust it when he says that, because anytime I ever put, like, if I'm going to write something and I put, 7 p.m. Pacific, he'll be like, whoa, why did you start with 7 p.m. Pacific? Why don't you do 10 p.m. Eastern time?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Every time when I go to tweet out the blog post or whatever, or send it out anywhere, you always have the Pacific time, and I just delete. I put in the Eastern, so.
I know you do.
Yeah, I remember it this time.
Anyway, guys, until next week, don't forget, we are Social Blade.